Hi guys, it's Kino. I'm just popping in to let you guys know that we have a new intro. Just kidding, haha. Unless? No, our intro is alive and well. I just made that little intro that you just saw to let you know that I have a new song out today and I'm so excited. I'm so proud of her. Her name is not me messing up the name of the song. Her name is You Would Wait. This is a song that is from the perspective of an alien, hence why I made myself into an alien for the visuals. Basically, this alien has been on so many adventures through different worlds, different incarnations, and had all of these experiences, and is now coming back and reconnecting with their star family. One of the places that this soul incarnated to was Earth, where they got a taste of the energetic density and separation consciousness. And during this experience, this alien forgot that they were with their star family the whole time. So they're coming back like, oh my gosh, long time no see. I had all these crazy experiences that I want to tell you about. But their star family is like, what do you mean? You weren't away, you were with us the whole time. And so this singing alien is grappling with the experience that they just had on Earth, where they very much did feel separate from their star family, separate from their friends in other dimensions. And they're back from that, and like deep down they know that that's not true, but it felt so real when they were there. And so throughout the song, their alien friends are kind of trying to help them remember who they are and remember that they have always been together this whole time and they always will be together. This is a song for anyone who feels strong connections that are not in this physical 3D reality, and to remind them that you are not apart. Just because there's not a physical body right here next to you, it doesn't mean that you are apart. I lost both of my cats in the process of making this song, and so it's definitely an emotional one for me, and it was almost like a nice moment of closure in a way, that I could tell them like, it's okay to let go, because I know that even if you let go of your physical form, you're still right here. So I hope that you guys will resonate with it. I hope you'll enjoy it. I'm gonna have it linked down below. I'll also play a little bit of it right now just to give you a little taste. And with that being said, let's get into the reading. Today's reading is, well, you already know because you saw the title. The nature of the connection on your mind, what is going on, and where is it headed? So without further ado, let's get into the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be taking a look at the connection between you and the person on your mind. So this can be anybody who you are curious about, and we're going to look at your connection from both a 3D perspective, so what's going on here on Earth between your two human selves, and we're also going to look at it from a 5D perspective and see what is going on between your souls and what is the nature of this connection in a spiritual sense. And I'm hoping that this reading can bring you guys some confirmation about the type of connection or the nature of the connection that you are dealing with, or some guidance on how to better navigate the connection. And not only are we going to see the current energies, but we're also going to see what you can expect in terms of future developments and changes within this connection. You can choose more than one group for sure in today's reading. There could be messages for you in multiple groups, or you could even choose different groups for different connections that you are curious about. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys each of these crystals up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. For number 1, we have this Angelite heart. For number 2, we have this Chrysocolla tumbled stone. For number 3, we have this clear quartz unicorn. And for number 4, we have this pink calcite palm stone. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Angelite heart, this is going to be your reading all about the connection between you and the person on your mind. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys the full breakdown of the reading. We're going to start with the reading here on YouTube and do an energy check of you, your person, and the connection so that we can see what is going on between the two of you. And like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to do this from a 3D perspective, so your human selves, and a 5D perspective, what's going on between your souls. And then once we get a feel for the current energies, we're going to look into the near future and see what is next for you. What changes or developments are coming in this connection? Is someone going to be taking action in this connection? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be them? Is it going to be spirit? And then we are going to go into the extended reading. And in the extended, we're going to look more at the long-term outcome of this connection. So the future prediction that we see here on YouTube, are things going to stay the same? Are things going to grow from there? Or is something going to change between the two of you in the long term? And then we're going to get messages from your person's 3D self and messages from your person's higher self. And then finally, we are going to see what time frames are significant in this connection. And we're going to get a relevant time frame for your short-term future and also for your long-term future. So it's going to be pretty thorough. But without further ado, let's get into it. As you can see, I have 2 piles of cards here. So this one is going to represent your 5D connection, and this one is going to represent your 3D connection. I will pull the cards for you on this side and the cards for your person on this side, and then the card in the middle will represent the energies between the two of you. However, if you feel like the energies are flipped, like this sounds more like them and this sounds more like you, that's totally fine. You may even find that you resonate with both sides, but if you don't really see yourself in either side, then this might not be your group and you may want to try listening to another one. But let's get started. So, starting with your energy in the 5D, we have the King of Cups, and we have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. On your person side in the 5D, we have the World, and freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And for the energy between the two of you in the 5D, we have, this is the Knight of Cups. That is very sweet. Okay, so let's move into the 3D now. Your energy in the 3D is represented by the 8 of Coins in reverse. It says over and over, boring, complacent, scattered, monotonous, all work, no play, repetitive, not delivering. And we also have your hard work is paying off with the new moon in Capricorn. Your person's 3D energy is represented by the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and it says beyond your control, challenges, external forces, upheaval, luck of the draw, karmic lessons, upend, turning point, big push. We also have adjustments are required with the 3rd quarter moon. And the card representing the energy between the two of you in the 3D is also the Knight of Cups. Oh my goodness. So we have to talk about this first. That is really cool. Out of 78 tarot cards, your 2 decks have the exact same card for the energy in between the two of you. Wow. So you guys are in alignment. Your human selves are in alignment with your souls. The main thing about the energy between the two of you, and I think this will really let you know that it's your group,
The energy between the two of you is so sweet. I think these are two people who care very deeply for each other, who have a soft spot for each other. You're very special to each other, and it's very easy to relate to and empathize with each other. You might see a lot of yourself in them, and they might see a lot of themselves in you. And I can definitely say with confidence that you both have a very special place in each other's heart. It's interesting, both of these cards kind of have unconventional illustrations for a Knight of Cups because there's no knight on a horse. And usually I would use, in a reading like this, the direction that the knight is going in to see like who is moving towards whom. But that's not really shown here. So I don't think in this connection it's a situation where one person developed these feelings first, like one person initiated it. It feels like something that grew naturally and organically between the two of you at the same time. It feels like something that was always mutual. And it feels like something that's very equal between the two of you. I don't see like this person got feelings first, and I don't see this person has more feelings than the other. It just naturally grew mutually, like between the two of you at the same time. And the word organic is coming to my mind quite a bit. This could be referring to the fact that you weren't necessarily looking for each other or looking to fall for each other in this way, like it just grew naturally over time. It could also be referring to the fact that you two really feel like you can be your natural selves around each other. It doesn't feel forced at all. I'm hearing it just makes sense when you're together. It just makes sense. I also get the feeling that you guys will feel best in this connection when you're not stressing about putting a label on it. Like, it doesn't need labels. It doesn't need to be explained. It just is. The feeling that I get when I'm around you is unmistakable, and it feels beautiful, and that's good enough for me. The world is also a sign of reciprocation in relationships. I would say both of these cards are, because we have the two hands on the world, so both people, coming together. Same thing with the two fish on the King of Cups. So there's really big signs of reciprocity here. And I think in the 5D you have a beautiful connection where you are pouring energy into each other. There's definitely a strong emotional connection and psychic connection. I think even that translates into the 3D, having like a certain deep level of empathy for each other, really being able to feel each other's emotions. And I think this happens on a psychic level as well. So even if you're at a physical distance, you can probably sense how this person is feeling, and they can sense how you're feeling. Whether they realize they're picking up on your emotions or not, I don't know. But it's kind of like energetically, your emotions would bleed into each other, if that makes sense. And I think it's easy for you to energetically tune into this person and know like how they're feeling, what they're going through, where their vibration is at. Interesting as well that both of your oracle cards are letter F. That's just like another sync between the two of you. F could be a significant letter, like one or both of your initials, or maybe a place that you come from starts with F. F, this might be a little bit of a reach, but I'm just thinking that F is the musical note that corresponds with the heart chakra, which I think is very cute. These two cards together are so beautiful. Failure and freedom. It really tells me that when you're aligned with your souls, when you're together, you don't feel the need to impress each other, and you don't feel the need to prove yourselves to each other. You're free from that pressure of like, I have to do everything perfectly, I have to do everything right. In fact, I think your souls would really consider it a blessing and an honor to be able to make mistakes together, to be able to be imperfect humans together, because it's such a valuable learning experience. And this might sound kind of weird for some of you, but I just thought about a parent witnessing their child grow up And there's something very like awe-inspiring and humbling about watching this little human like learn about the world and make mistakes. If this is not a parent and child relationship, I know that can sound weird, but I think it's like, it's just such a joy to behold your existence. It's like that kind of thing to watch you go through your life and learn lessons and try things and fail and try things and succeed. Like just to watch you on this journey is such an honor. Like it's humbling for the both of you is how it's coming through. So there's beautiful energy here in the 5D. Let's take a look at what we have going on down here. We do have this repeating Knight of Cups. It's interesting that the Knight is looking that way. So your person could be checking on you quite a bit or feel pulled towards your energy quite a bit at this time. I'm getting the feeling of checking your social media or just really wanting to know what you're up to and really watching you do your thing and live your life, whether that's from close by or from afar. I feel like your person right now is really interested in what you're doing. I also want to talk about the moon. It looks like it's about to be, or it is, a new moon eclipse on this Knight of Cups card. So powerful change. This is hinting that powerful change is coming in your connection. And if we look at the phases of the moon here, it looks like you are really ready. You're really ready for this powerful change to come because you're already at this new moon. Like you're ready to bring in this new change. Whereas on their side, we're still kind of getting there. This moon has quite a ways, well, not quite a ways, I shouldn't say that. It has a little bit of a ways to go before it becomes the new moon. And this card even says adjustments are required. So when it comes to like whether it's union that you're waiting for with this person or just the next level of your connection, I really feel that you are super ready for it. Like you've been putting in the work and you're super ready for it. Whereas they still have a little bit more work to do to be completely ready. And that's why I think this Wheel of Fortune is here. There's some kind of divine intervention that is going to come in on your person's side to help them become ready. It's like there's some changes that need to be made in their life, in their lifestyle, in their habits, or maybe in their beliefs, their way of seeing the world. Something just needs to shift for them so that you can come together in the best way possible. And maybe this is something that in the 3D has been kind of frustrating for you guys with this 8 of Coins in reverse over and over. It's like you've done the work, you're ready, and it's kind of like if this hasn't happened yet, you might feel like you need to keep doing more and more. And you might be kind of banging your head over and over, like, what more do I need to do? Because I feel like I'm ready, but things are not moving. And it's because actually the other side of the equation is not ready. And that might be frustrating for you. You might feel like you're going in circles, or you might feel like things are just not really moving. Now, in the 5D, this energy is quite different. This is the energy of someone who's getting frustrated, who feels stuck, whereas the King of Cups is just very tolerant, very allowing, and is not in any rush. I feel like any stress or worry surrounding this connection is really coming from the 3D. It's really coming from your human mind, because all of the energies up here are just so beautiful and peaceful. Like, there's no problem, everything is fine. I would say a main difference between the two of you is that you might struggle with control issues, like wanting to really hold on tight and be in control of the situation. And then your person is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, where they might be in a more passive or disempowered energy. Because we have this card that says adjustments are required, but it's beyond my control. But then the 5D recognizes, no, I have the power to change things. I have the power to create my own happiness. It's like this side is doing too much and this side is not doing enough. Because they don't realize the power that they have to make positive changes in their life, or they feel like it's not going to work out anyway, or kind of putting the responsibility for improving their life on external circumstances. Like, things just have to line up and I just have to get lucky to get what I want. Like, they don't realize that it's in their hands to take some kind of action. So it looks like your person is more in a passive energy, and then you feel the need to maybe like pick up the slack, or you're getting frustrated. You feel like everything is on you. Yeah, I would say that's the difference between the two of you in the 3D right now. This could also be referring to some other area of your life, your career, for example, or just another area of your life where you feel like things have just been really monotonous and you've been doing the same things over and over and over. Maybe you've been trying to make a goal happen in your life and it just keeps not working, and your 3D self is getting very frustrated. However, your higher self sees that each and every one of these failures, which you can't really call it that, but each and every one of these attempts was valuable. So your higher self is not getting frustrated because they see the purpose in this whole process. They see you learning something and growing each and every time you try. Your human self just has this one end goal in mind. And so when they're making efforts and that one specific end goal doesn't happen, your human mind may be quick to deem that effort as a waste. But your soul does not see it like that. They see that all this effort is really paying off. It might not be leading to that one specific outcome that you expected, but it is enriching you. It is building you up. It is helping you grow. So your higher self is just in a lot more of a like tolerant and relaxed and not rushing kind of energy. And I think your higher self is super proud of you for this hard work that you're doing. And again, any frustrations I think come from your mind and the expectations, which could be quite strict, the expectations that you place on yourself and on your life and how things are supposed to go. Your person definitely has changes to be made, and I think we're going to see, this makes me think of divine intervention, external forces, upheaval. They're going to be presented with some opportunities to make the changes that they need to make, to get them into alignment with their highest path, and I think very much to get them into alignment with you. Because this eclipse in the middle is a sign that powerful change is coming. Ooh. So let's get into the tarot now and see what are the next changes or developments in this connection. Is someone going to be taking action? And if so, who is that? What is next in the connection between group number 1 and their person? Ooh, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Two cards coming out together. Oh my gosh. The Magician and Justice. So you have 4 number 1s coming out in a row, group. And you are group number 1 because you have the Ace, which is a 1. Magician is a 1. Justice is 11, aka 1-1. So this is 11-11 right here. That may be a number that you guys have been seeing quite a bit. A life path 11 could be significant, or someone could be born in January, November, or on the 1st, I almost said month, on the 1st or on the 11th of a month. Oh, and of course life path 1 as well. This is very clearly showing a new beginning in this connection, which matches so well with the new moon eclipse energy. A new beginning and powerful change coming to this connection. Let's just go ahead and get the rest of the cards and then we'll look at everything together. I also just looked up at the camera timer and saw 2002, like 2002, which is a mirroring number. And 2002 could also be like someone's birth year. Oh, two cards coming out together again. We have the Moon and the Five of Swords. And our final card is the Nine of Swords. And I do want to, oh, we have the Devil at the bottom of the deck as well. I do want to mention, I felt like the cards were coming out pretty quickly until we got to this Moon and Five of Swords. And then after that, it took quite some time for this card to come out. And I think that what this means is that you may be in this energy for quite some time. So I'll just make a note of that. And interestingly, I just saw 2121 as I was talking about this, which is the number on your person's side. So this could be representing an energy that your person is in, or I want to say that your person gets stuck in. So let's look at what we have here. We're starting off with the Ace of Pentacles. So this is your nearest future from the time that you are watching. And I actually did want to say, for those of you who are manifesting a career opportunity or manifesting improved finances, I definitely think that this could be a representation of that. Because it looks like on your end, you guys have been working really hard on something, like working towards a career goal, a professional goal. And so I do think one meaning of this Ace of Pentacles is letting you know that this dream career offer or opportunity or goal is going to be coming to you very soon. Like within a year, you will have your dream job or your dream lifestyle or your dream financial situation. But anyway, in the context of this connection, the Ace of Pentacles actually very often denotes we're moving to the next level of commitment in our relationship. Someone is coming forward with an offer that is stable, that is serious, that is long-term. And I always feel like I need to really emphasize with the Ace of Pentacles, because you know, there's other aces in the deck, that this one is really backed by action. You know, it's not just feelings. I feel this way about you. It's not just words, like I want to do XYZ with you. It's not just intentions. It's being backed by action. So I have these feelings for you and this is what I'm going to do about it. So this is actually a really strong sign of being in a solid union with this person, like being in that committed relationship or that committed partnership and being in each other's physical company, you know, like spending physical time with each other, putting in the effort to build the relationship. Like it's not wishy-washy, it's very solid, a solid commitment. And this is your very first card. So I actually feel that this is coming quite soon for you guys. And we have the Magician and Justice here. The Magician, you're manifesting your desires. With Justice, this is Libra energy, 7th house energy. This is a partnership. This is a soul contract. This is, oh, it's interesting that there's a feather in both of these cards. Feathers could also be a relevant sign for you guys. Like this is something that you, I don't want to say earned, but it's something that you really put in the effort for, and it's something that you really did the inner work for. And when we get justice with a manifestation card, it's almost as if your spiritual team is saying, like, this is just the outcome that makes sense. It only makes sense that this would happen, that you would end up in this union. Like, what goes in must come out. So whatever energy you put into this connection, like, it only makes sense that things would come out this way. And I hope that that makes sense to you guys. So, and it's so crazy that we got, like, all these ones coming out in a row. Now, I do think what will happen after you come into this union is that some unhealed wounds will start to come up. You know, we do healing work before getting into our union, but we also have healing work to do after. And especially because you have the devil at the bottom of the deck, you know, this is fears, limiting beliefs, unhealthy attachments, things that will not, that have a hold of you and almost like that won't let go. And so I think either you or your person could have some really stubborn insecurities that are resurfacing in this partnership. And it's interesting, like with the moon, this can indicate things kind of being behind the scenes, and snakes are quite sneaky. So I have a feeling that for many of you, this will be a wound or an insecurity that you honestly thought was gone. Like, you thought that you had healed this, you thought that you were fine, and then it's sneaking up on you again. Like this old wound is being re-triggered. I don't know if maybe something is in retrograde, because I often find that retrogrades bring up weird old emotions for me, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Or if just, you know, something is happening in the relationship that re-triggers this old wound. But there is almost this feeling of surprise, like I didn't know you were still here. You know, the moon can represent these things that are hidden, that are beneath the surface, that are still in our subconscious. And, you know, with this Five of Swords here, I think there's two meanings to this. One of them is that this could cause conflict and arguments in the relationship. I also think this is indicating that this is not a fear or an insecurity that you identify with in your conscious mind. And I think that's why it's so frustrating. And maybe this has even happened in my relationship, where I won't get too into it because obviously it's personal, but someone in my relationship was dealing with these old wounds coming back up, and it's like, I know in my head that this is silly. I don't think this way in my head. My head understands that everything is fine, but there's like something in my subconscious that keeps rearing its ugly head, and like I can't ignore those emotions. So, or like, I can give an example of this. Let's say your partner is like going out to a party, and so in your head, you're like, I trust my partner. I know that they're not gonna do anything weird. I know that everything is fine. But then you have that subconscious that's like, they're cheating on you, they're doing this, they're doing that. And even though you know in your rational head that those fears are not necessary here, that doesn't change the uncomfortable feeling, that doesn't change the painful feeling. And it might, it's so frustrating when like you can see yourself acting out and your rational mind knows that it's not necessary, but you just can't like stop yourself from getting in those feelings. There's something like that that's happening. And I wonder if it's on your person's end, because we did have that 2121, and I feel like that was, you know, hinting that it's them because they have the number 21 on their side. And I feel like it's frustrating for both of you. Like it's frustrating for the person who has to have these feelings and can see themselves like acting up because of them, even though their rational mind knows that like that's not necessary here. And then it's also frustrating for the person who's on the receiving end. So yeah, it's like once you get together, and yeah, it's interesting. Like we talk so much about do your healing work, do your inner work so that you can come into union. But I actually feel like for this group, union was necessary for this wound to be healed. Because like in that example of trusting your partner to go out to a party, you can't really heal that if you're not in a committed relationship, because those feelings of jealousy might not come up unless you're in the committed relationship. So like there's some things that need to be healed after you get into that committed relationship. So I really hope you guys don't see this as like, oh my gosh, I missed something in my healing work, like I should have healed this before. Because I think you needed to come together in this way so that this could be healed. I hope that that makes sense. Yeah, someone's dealing with that. And with this 9 of Swords, like, I do think this is going to cause anxiety because it causes inner conflict with, you know, whoever is dealing with this, and inner conflict for the other person, I'm sure, because they're like, am I contributing to this? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe they start to second guess, or like, you know, I want to be supportive, but it's also frustrating when my partner is like doubting me or getting upset at me, and I have no bad intentions. You know, I'm just a human, so obviously that's gonna upset me, but like I want to be there for you. So it's this kind of inner conflict that I think could be happening on both people's ends, and then, you know, conflict with each other. And it's just bringing, like, the 9 of Swords is negative thoughts and anxiety. It's interesting that we have a rose here because this makes me think of like a delicate and sensitive soul. And with all the swords here, it's like someone feels like they're being attacked. The person going through these insecurities could feel attacked, or the partner being confronted could also feel attacked, because it's like, I'm not doing anything wrong, and I feel attacked because you're like acting from your insecurities. And it's just, it doesn't really look like a nice situation. And I'm sorry, because this is kind of like a shitty note to end a reading on. And, you know, the long-term outcome definitely seems like it's to be decided. Maybe it's something that is up to you. But I think, you know, this is an opportunity to, whenever these things come up, it is an opportunity to improve our communication, to talk through them together, and to heal them. And there really is that feeling that this is not something that could have come up and been addressed and been released if you weren't in this committed union. So it's not like you made a mistake that this is coming up. I think this was meant to come up. This was meant to be worked through. This was meant to be released and healed. And, you know, I didn't want to divulge too much, but I did kind of talk about myself going through something similar in my own partnership. So I can say from experience that these things can be worked through. But it's kind of ending on this like cliffhanger, and I guess it's because that's really up to you and your person, like how you choose to work through these issues. But yeah, it looks like, you know, there's this union, there's this new beginning. I do see you in a committed partnership, and again, spending a lot of physical time with each other. And then perhaps having honeymoon phase, and then these things come up that have to be addressed. So this is the near future of your connection. In the extended, we are going to see the long-term outcome of this situation. Are things going to stay like this? Are they going to change? And then we're going to get a message from your person's 3D self, a message from your person's higher self, and then we are going to see a relevant time frame for this connection in the short-term future and a relevant time frame in the long-term future. So if you would like to join me in the extended reading, that's going to be in the description and in the pinned comment. However, if you're going to leave this reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you, and I wish all the best to you and your person. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive timeless readings just like this one, and you can also decide topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. It's truly, truly appreciated, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your person, to anyone who may be involved in this situation. I'm sending love to your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos. So if you guys chose our little Chrysocolla tumbled stone, this is going to be your reading all about the connection between you and the person on your mind. So I'm going to start by showing you guys the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today. Here on YouTube, we are going to look at the energy of you, the energy of your person, and the energy of the connection. So the energy between the two of you. And like I mentioned in the intro, we are going to look at this from a 3D perspective, so your human selves, as well as a 5D perspective, so what's going on between your souls. And then once we get a feel for the current energies between the two of you, we are going to look at your near future and see what's next in terms of changes and developments that will be happening in your connection. Is someone going to be taking action? If so, who? And then in the extended reading, we're going to look more into the long-term outcome of this connection. So are things going to stay the same as we saw here on YouTube, or are things going to change in the long-term future? And then we're going to get a message from your person's 3D self and a message from your person's higher self. And then we are going to get some timing predictions for the short-term future and for the long-term future. So it's going to be a pretty thorough reading today. We are starting off by taking a look at your current energies. So this pile of cards is going to represent your 5D connection, and this pile of cards is going to represent your 3D connection. I'm going to put your cards on this side, their cards on this side, and then a card in the middle to represent like the energies between the two of you. If you feel like the energies are flipped, so this sounds more like them, that sounds more like you, that's totally fine. You are welcome to switch the energies around. You may even find that you resonate with both sides, but if you don't really see yourself on either side of the spread, then this may not be your group. You might want to try listening to a different one, but let's take a look at the cards. So we're starting with your energy in the 5D. And we have Strength, 222 as I'm holding up this card. And it's also card number 11, interesting. 11 or 222, or like repeating ones and twos, could be messages from your higher self. Then we have Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. On your person's side, we have the 3 of Cups. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. And then we have the 7 of Cups to represent the energy between the two of you. So now let's take a look at your 3D energies. Your cards are the Star, Wish Granted, Contentment, Spirituality, Inspiration, Altruistic, Serenity, Purpose, Renewal, Healing, Hope, Calm, and Faith. And we also have the Answers You Need Are Coming with the full moon in Gemini. On your person side, we have the Four of Coins in reverse, an uncluttered life, minimalism, less is more, reevaluating priorities, release materialism. We also have the end of a tough cycle approaches with the full moon in Capricorn. And then, wow, in between the two of you, we have the Lovers. Okay, so where do we even start? Okay, let's start up here in the 5D. I want to talk about this Seven of Cups that is in between the two of you. This is definitely a strong indication of a psychic connection, and the Lovers as well. This is a telepathic connection between the two of you. This is the number 7, this is the number 6, and what I'm immediately thinking of are the 6th and 7th chakras, so the third eye and the crown chakra, which are, if you have those chakras open, then you will be tapped into your psychic abilities. So being in this connection has perhaps awakened you to the psychic abilities that you have, or even increased your psychic abilities. As you learn more about this connection, you could learn more about your spirituality and who you are as a soul. Like this, the journey of this connection and your spiritual journey might be intertwined in some way. With the Seven of Cups here, I right away feel that you and this person visit each other in your dreams. So you probably dream a lot about this person and they dream a lot about you. And dreams may actually be, I'm hearing, where you meet to discuss important things. And important things is like the progress that you're making on your journey. It's almost like you are checking in with each other to make sure you are on your divine path. I think that's a purpose of this connection. You, whether it's implicit or explicit, it's like you hold each other accountable to make sure that you're staying on your divine path, that you're staying aligned with your purpose, that you're staying on the path that you chose for this incarnation. So in the 3D, the two of you might really inspire each other to become better versions of yourselves. You may actually open each other's eyes to something that you want to pursue as a profession or a cause that you care about. You might sort of activate each other's journey towards your calling, if that makes sense, or inspire each other. I think with Strength and the Three of Cups here, your souls definitely have a long history together. You've maybe heard me refer to the Strength card as like a soul best friends card. I think that's just my personal interpretation of it. But whenever the Strength card appears in a reading like this, I really feel that your souls go way, way back and you have a very strong bond because of this infinity symbol. And just the meaning of the Strength card, it shows me that you've gone through a lot of ups and downs together in your history as souls. And your souls are like very close friends. And the Three of Cups is about friendship as well. So you are soul friends, you are soul buddies, you may be soul family members or just part of the same soul group. This I am never alone, and the imagery here makes me think that as well. And I also think that with these two cards here, it's kind of showing your different approaches to life. If I were to compare you to students in the soul world, you would be the student who takes the assignments very seriously, who really cares about their grades and makes sure to get everything done on time and really is making sure that they're on track to the success that they want to reach. Like the student who takes things very seriously. This would be the student who's, I'm just here to have fun with my friends, you know? I come to school so that I can see my friends and so that I can goof off. And I think that this student still does well, but they more have the feeling of just like showing up and winging it and enjoying the ride. Whereas this soul has more of a vibe of like, and maybe it's because they really want to prove that they can do a good job. There's just a feeling of you taking your life lessons and taking your incarnations really, really seriously. Whereas they are approaching their lives and their incarnations in a more laid back way. Like they just want to have fun, they just want to have a good time. There's like more detachment there. Yeah. And you might actually deal with more themes of fate in your lifetimes, and they deal more with themes of free will. And I actually think that this difference in approaches makes the two of you a good pair to live your lifetimes together. It's like you'll inspire this person to find what really matters to them and to really work hard on it. And I think they will help you to let go and to surrender and to remember that life is to be enjoyed and that pleasure is an important part of life, spontaneity, and, you know, sometimes just letting go and seeing where life takes you is also important. You don't always need to have a really strong plan in place, and it's okay if things go differently. I think that this difference in approaches actually makes you quite compatible and like a good match for each other in terms of your growth, if you're willing to open up to a new perspective. What I could say about your person is that they might take this detached approach as a way to prevent loneliness before it happens. Like, I can't feel lonely if I don't get too attached to anyone. And it's interesting, the analogy that's coming to my mind is a kid who growing up has to move a lot. So it's like they don't want to get too attached to any place or too attached to any friends because they know that they're gonna move next year. And this person's soul kind of has that vibe imprinted into them for whatever reason. Some of them maybe have origins in a place that doesn't exist anymore, like a planet that doesn't exist anymore. There's a feeling of like, I don't want to get settled or get too comfortable because the place that I call home might be gone or the people I call home might be gone. It may be something that they've experienced a lot just in previous incarnations. And so in their current lifetime, that kind of carries over to where they don't want to get too attached. And I just noticed there's double Capricorn here. I don't know why that took me so long to notice. This is Capricorn, this is Capricorn. And Capricorns, they can tend to just pursue material things or pursue status and be like an F feelings kind of person. I'm not saying all Capricorns are like that, and that doesn't mean your person is necessarily like that, but just judging from the way these two go together, as a human, this person may be kind of afraid or wary of emotional attachments, and so they focus more on building up their career, building up their status, making money, and that kind of thing, because the emotional stakes for them are not very high there. And yeah, and even like this in the upright would say attachment, and so to have an attachment card in the reverse, that's kind of the vibe that your person is giving off, and maybe something that they're working through in this lifetime, because they're releasing this, reevaluating their priorities, and the end of a tough cycle approaches. So yeah, that's a big lesson. Sorry cards. That's a big lesson for your person in this lifetime, is to not be afraid of connecting and not being afraid of attachment. Like, not all attachment is bad, and it can actually be a very beautiful thing. Experiencing true connection. And I think true connection it's enjoying what you have in the moment. You know, this might not always be here forever, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop myself from feeling these beautiful feelings in this moment. Moving over to your side, we have strength, and I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. This is what makes me feel that fate and destiny will kind of be a big thing in your current incarnation, or maybe it's played a role in a lot of your incarnations. But what you're learning is that if you can surrender and work with the universe's plan, your life will exceed your expectations. When things are not going the way you expected, and I feel like it may be hard for you to let go because both of these are fixed signs. Strength and the Star. This is Leo and Aquarius. If you can adapt to the external circumstances, if you can surrender to the universe's plan, things will exceed your expectations. I think with the Star here as well, this shows a strong wish on your side to connect more to your person, but maybe the energy that they have been in has made that kind of difficult. I feel like you're craving for more closeness with them. You're craving for more communication. There's double Gemini here as well. Capricorn and Gemini are coming through very strongly for this group. And then we have a bit of Leo, Aquarius, Cancer, and Scorpio. I know that's a lot of signs, but I just want to name all of them that are here. And interesting as well that we have these two people. One of them has their eyes open and one of them has their eyes closed. It gives me the feeling that in the 3D, one of you is awake to the nature of this connection and the other of you is not. And just from the way that these have come out, it is kind of looking like you are awake to this connection and your person is not, at least in the 3D. In the 5D, you are both very aware. The card that represents the energy between the two of you, we have this open eye in the sky that is looking down on everything and can see everything. We have a telepathic connection confirmed with these two cards. We have a psychic connection confirmed. We know that the two of you are communicating in higher realms, that your higher selves are in communication, that you visit, and I'm hearing consult each other in your dreams. It's like you have regular meetings about how your life is going and you give each other advice. I don't know if this is something you do or have done in the 3D, but you do give each other advice and inspire each other and motivate each other to keep going forward in your individual journeys. This is something that your higher selves like meet up and do, is how it's being shown to me. If you ever have epiphanies or like sudden inspirations about what you want to do with your life or the next step, it may be because you got advice from this person's higher self. And the same thing goes for them. So I want you guys to know, even if you're not in 3D communication with this person, even if you're not in contact, your higher selves very much are. And your higher selves value each other's insight and value each other's, I guess, opinions quite a bit. And you are really playing an active role in like guiding and coaching each other. It's a very interesting, like very supportive and constructive connection that the two of you have. I really do like though that this Capricorn mermaid is moving towards the middle, moving towards this connection. They are in the process of leaving behind their old priorities. Their old priorities that were very materially attached and emotionally detached. They're finishing this tough cycle. And I think it was tough because at the end of the day, it would never really give them true happiness. And they're realizing that what would make them happy is this intimacy, like with you, but with people in general. The Lovers is all about intimacy and closeness and relationships, and especially healthy relationships. And I think that they're just ready to start building those in their life. And they don't need the promise that it's going to last forever. They don't need the promise that they're never going to get hurt, because the pain of never having that connection in the first place is so much worse. It's like that old, it's better to have loved and lost than not loved at all. I feel like I say that a lot in these kind of readings, but I think it's something that we can all be reminded of sometimes. The pain of never experiencing this intimacy, for them, it's worse than losing a connection, or it's worse than getting hurt somewhere down the line. They don't want to let that fear stop them anymore, is how this is really coming through. So I love that this mermaid goat is moving towards the Lovers, the intimacy in the middle here. If you're not experiencing this with your person, it definitely looks like you will be very soon. We also have the answers you need are coming, which makes me think that there is some kind of significant communication that's going to come in from your person in the near future. with 2 full moons, and even there's a full moon behind these lovers, this means that you're reaching some sort of climax or some sort of culmination in this connection, and that you're both in a place of very high emotion right now. And that's going to explode into a climax, and into a positive climax. But there's definitely going to be a lot of 3D communication between the two of you very soon that will probably confirm what you've been experiencing in the 5D, what you've been dreaming about, the energies that you've been picking up from your person psychically. Yeah. This is like the communication you need is coming. The clarity that you need from this person is coming. The confirmation is coming. And the star means that, yes, your wish is going to be granted, but it's going to exceed your expectations. It's going to be better than what you expected. It's going to feel better than what you imagined. It's interesting how the way the lovers came out, you know, this is you on this side, this is them. It looks like you are nurturing them, you are protecting them, because opening up and being vulnerable like this is kind of new to them. And so you're the one who is kind of cradling them. And I think this represents them who is not awake yet, and who is in that process of awakening to a new emotional experience, to a new side of life, embracing oneness, embracing connection, embracing intimacy. Yeah, and it's a beautiful exchange that you have. 6, it's harmony, it's reciprocity, it's balance. You're helping them to take what matters to them more seriously, and they're helping you to take things a little less seriously so that you can surrender and enjoy life. It's a really nice balance. So we're going to get into the tarot now, and I'm going to drink some water before we do that. And now we're going to look into the near future of this connection. So what's happening next from these current energies? What is coming next in the connection between group number 2 and their person? We have the King of Wands, the 7 of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the 5 of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck we have the 10 of Cups, which, if you are familiar with the tarot card meanings, you will know that this is very, very happy. This is a very good sign. The 10 of Cups is like your happily ever after, your peak emotional fulfillment. We often see on this card like a happy family. There's a couple who are arm in arm, and then there's like kids playing beside them, and there's a rainbow in the sky. It's like happy family surrounded by your loved ones. You have everything you could ever ask for and more. And this paired with the star really lets me know that the outcome of this situation is going to exceed your expectations. I love that we have the infinity symbol again. It feels like together forever. It feels really cute. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful card, like the fulfillment of all of your wishes. So whatever it is deep down that you're really wishing for in this connection, the 10 of Cups is indicating that this will be delivered. So let's go through these cards now. This makes a lot of sense, honestly. With the King of Wands and the Seven of Swords here, I definitely feel like this is something your person is going through. However, if when I'm describing these energies, you feel like you can relate to it, you can of course claim this as a message for you. The King of Wands, he is a very independent, free spirit, and we love that for him. You know, he does what he wants, but sometimes we can see him as kind of self-involved, and I have seen the King of Wands many times as someone who is non-committal and like not ready for emotional commitment. It's just interesting because that's kind of what we've seen on your person's end. But right next to this, we have the Seven of Swords, which is a card that talks about deception, BS, or just something not being what you thought it would be. And I think it's very interesting that there's one sword that's really, really huge, because it's giving me the feeling like when it's combined with the deception message, it's giving me the feeling of something that is overrated or something that is overly hyped. So we see this person who has become a king, and then it's not what they thought it would be. It's like they got fooled into thinking, if you become this king, you're going to be happy, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel good about yourself. And that's just not how it ended up. So I can definitely see this resonating for your person, because they've really hyped up the pursuit of status or like career advancement or material things. However, it could definitely be a message for you as well. There may be a pursuit in your own life, a professional pursuit, a creative pursuit, a superficial pursuit like physical appearance, or like a pursuit of popularity or fame, whatever it might be, that you have really hyped up as being the thing that is going to make you happy or that is going to make you feel worthy. And this is not to say that you shouldn't pursue it. It's just that you may perceive this thing that you're pursuing as the big sword to end all swords, when really it's the same size as everything else. You know, so we're not saying to this person, don't pursue a higher status, don't pursue money, don't pursue career advancement. When that is in balance with everything else in your life, it can be a really fulfilling and beautiful thing. But when you put so much pressure on it to be like the thing, the be all and end all of your self-worth and of your happiness, it's inevitably gonna fall short. So I think there's a message for both of you. Just like make sure that you are not overhyping or overrating any one goal or any one thing in your life. I could even say that about this connection. This connection, this union, like anything else in your life, it cannot be the be all and end all thing that is going to make you happy. You need to equally work on all areas of your life. And so I think something that's happening in the near future for both of you is that if you've been neglecting any area of your life, that could be coming around and biting you. Or I should say, it will be brought to your attention. So if let's say I'm really, really focused on my career, that I've been neglecting my mental health or I've been neglecting my physical health, those areas that I haven't been paying attention to might become a bit turbulent, and that I'm forced or just really pushed to pay attention to them and realize, okay, my career is not everything, and it's not worth it to sacrifice other areas of my life so much. Sorry, I spaced out a bit. There was just a message coming through of like, be careful of your gut health for some of you, or of your reproductive health, because there was like a focus on my lower abdomen Yeah, so that could be like your intestines or your, like your reproductive or sexual health or something like that. Anyway, yeah, something is turning out to be like not all it's cracked up to be. And I think that's leading to reevaluating our priorities and really remembering that balance in life is so important. And whatever this might look like on your end and on their end, I do think that it's going to bring you guys closer together with this Knight of Cups. And I love that the otter is holding a little mug of like tea or coffee or something, because it looks like he's taking a break. It looks like he's relaxing. And isn't this, oh my gosh, otters are so cute. This is just the cutest little knight I ever did see. And I love Knight of Cups energy because it's just very soft and sweet and kind and caring. I feel like one or both of you is maybe kind of going through a difficult time reorganizing your priorities, addressing areas of your life that you've been neglecting. But I feel, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, it just clicked for me. The Knight of Cups gives a strong feeling of relating to each other and empathizing with each other. And we have a lot of Gemini energy talking about communication. So I think that you're both going through some version of this energy, and that you will be sharing with each other about your process, sharing what you're going through, how you're feeling, what you're changing in your life, and what that whole process is like, what it looks like for you, and really, really relating to each other. Even if your careers are different, you're pursuing different things, I think you can really relate to what each person is going through and offer each other support. And this journey, I think, is actually going to bring you closer together. Your emotional bond is definitely deepening. I will say, because the Knight of Cups is looking this way, like looking from here to here, it could be that you are initiating this. So you might be the one to first open up to your person about what you've been going through and how you're like reprioritizing things in your life. Or you might be the first to approach them and say, hey, how are you doing? I hope everything's okay. And then that opens the door for a greater conversation. With the Five of Pentacles here, I think there's two meanings to this. One is that I think you're finally gonna open up to each other about just how much you miss each other. This is, in a connection reading especially, there's a feeling of missing someone, a feeling of loneliness, a feeling of being left out. Because with the Knight of Cups here, you're definitely opening up more and sharing more about where you're at in life and offering each other support. And I think just because of how good that feels, that also comes with this sadness of like, I wish I was closer to you. I wish I was more involved in your life. I wish we did this more often. Or damn, now that we're really opening up and having these heart-to-hearts, I realize how much I miss you. It's the feeling. We're finally being open and vulnerable about how much we miss each other, and being open about perhaps how we've not been happy in our current level of closeness, how we've been actually longing for more, because the Five of Pentacles does denote lack. So we're being honest about how we felt lacking in this connection, how we've missed each other's absence, how we want more. I also think, in the more literal sense, this Five of Pentacles talks about financial lack or financial loss. So I do think both of you could be making changes in your life that either temporarily or in a more long-term way impact your finances, but that ultimately make you happier. So an easy example of this is, leaving, like sometimes I see YouTube videos get recommended to me and it's like, I left my 6-figure job to do XYZ, and I've never watched it before, so maybe I shouldn't assume, but I can imagine that people are leaving jobs that, while they pay very well, are just not bringing that fulfillment that they need. Or again, it could be temporary. So I'm leaving my job and that's temporarily affecting my finances because I won't make money when I leave my job, but I know that I'll find a new one. And so it's worth taking a bit of that financial hit to get to where I really want to be emotionally. So talking to each other, having these open heart-to-hearts with each other, that could lead to you guys making those kinds of decisions in your life. Because remember, like, from a spiritual perspective, what you're here for each other to do is make sure that you stay on the path that's going to make you happiest, because all you want for each other is to be the happiest version of yourselves. More than ending up together, I feel like what your souls really want for each other is just to be their happiest selves. And I think in some capacity you'll always be involved in each other's lives, you know, whether you're closely together every single day or cheering each other on from the sidelines. I don't really see this as a connection that would ever fully drift apart. You'll always be in each other's circle or in each other's radar. You'll always pop in every now and then. I just can't see these two, you and your person, ever being fully separated. And yeah, bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups, which is great bliss, great emotional fulfillment that is shaping up between the two of you. So what we see in your near future is you're both kind of going through some reevaluations, perspective shifts in your life, and redirecting. And you're going to be very open with each other through this process, offering support to each other, offering advice, offering like, I know how you feel, I know what you're going through, I understand, you know, that kind of compassion and empathy, and being open about how you've missed each other, or open about how you really want more out of this connection, and helping each other to break free from like monetary or financial attachment so that you can do what you really want to do. Like breaking free from lack mentality, or that fear of lack, that fear of loss that is keeping you from what you really want. So this is what we're seeing in your nearest future. In the extended reading, we're going to go more into the long-term outcome of this connection. Are things going to stay like this? Are they going to grow from here? Are they going to take a turn into a new direction? We will find out. We're also going to get a message from your person's 3D self and a message from your person's higher self. And then finally, a timing prediction for the short-term future of this connection and a timing prediction for the long-term future. So if you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked in the description as well as the pinned comment of this video. If you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive, timeless pick a card readings just like this one, and also decide on topics for future videos. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I'm truly grateful to have you here, group number 2, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your person, to anyone who may be involved in this reading, and I'm sending love to your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the clear quartz unicorn, this is going to be a reading all about the connection between you and the person on your mind. So I'm going to start by showing you guys a full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we're going to start by taking a look at the current energies of this connection. So we'll look at your energy, your person's energy, and the energy between the two of you. And like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to look at this from both a 3D perspective, so what's going on between your human selves, and a 5D perspective, what's going on between between your souls. And then once we get a feel for the current energy, we are going to see what's next in this connection. So are there any changes or developments and actions that will be taken in the near future? If so, who will take these actions and what will they be? And then in the extended reading, we're going to see the long-term outcome of this connection. So will things stay the same as what we saw here on YouTube, or will the situation be changing? Then we're going to get a message from your person's 3D self and from their higher self. And then to finish off, we will get timing predictions. We're going to look at relevant time frames for both the short-term future and the long-term future. So it is going to be a pretty thorough reading today. We're going to start off by looking at the current energies. So this pile of cards will represent your 5D connection, and this pile of cards will represent your 3D connection. I'm going to place your cards on this side, your person's card on that side, and then the energy between the two of you will be in the middle. But if the energies feel flipped, so if this sounds more like your person and this sounds more like you can totally switch the energies. You might even find that you resonate with both sides. However, if you don't really see yourself on either side, then this might not be your reading and you might want to try listening to a different group. So let's get started with your energy in the 5D. We have the Page of Swords, and we have Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Then on your person's side, we have Justice, and we have Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And for the energy in between the two of you, we have the 5 of Swords. For your 3D energy on your side, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse, trouble ahead, storm brewing, no progress, returning from travel, delays, slow healing, bad to worse, and instability. We also have work through your fears with the new moon in Scorpio. And then on your person's side, we have the Page of Cups with broken dreams, manipulative, obsession, inner child wounds, canceled events, and creative block. We have meditate and contemplate with the new moon in Pisces. And for the energy in between the two of you, we have strength. Wow. So this group in particular, it does have a bit of a heavier energy, as you can probably tell from the keywords on these cards. So I think the sign that this is your group will be if you are in a separation with this person, like if you've gone through a breakup or a falling out, or if you're in a no contact situation. Or at the very least, I feel like the connection is not where you want it to be. Like if you are being honest with yourself, you are unhappy with this dynamic. And I think that goes for both of you. The connection is not how you want it to be right now. Like the amount of distance between the two of you, or the communication or lack thereof, is just not, it's not it. It feels like it's not right. So if this is how you feel about this connection, then keep watching. If this is not how you feel about this connection, I don't think that this is going to be your group. So I feel like there's this dissatisfaction on both ends, but with strength in the middle here, I think in the 3D, it's like you're both not letting on the extent of your pain or of your dissatisfaction. It's like you're trying to put on a brave face in front of the other person. You're trying to hold it together and keep your composure. It may be for some of you that you don't want to admit how upset you are. It could be this thing where you want to act like, oh, I don't care, I'm fine, I'm detached. Or it could even be, some of you may even be struggling to admit to yourself how much you really care or how much this is really hurting you. I don't get the sense that there's a lot of honesty or openness between the two of you, how much the way things are is bothering you. If we look up to the 5D, we do have the 5 of Swords representing the energy that is between the two of you. This is a card that we would often see denoting separation or some kind of conflict or just a sad situation. And I feel like your souls also recognize that things are not going well, or they are not the way that you hoped they would be. And I feel like with you coming through as the Page of Swords and Death, it's really your higher self on your side who is wanting to move on. The Page of Swords is very straightforward and just tells things like it is. So I feel that your higher self is telling you, look, like, I'm not happy here. This dynamic is not working for me. We've got to let go. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Like, we've got to let go so that I can experience the rest of my life, so that I can allow myself to move on to a new chapter. I feel like it's actually your soul who is longing for release, who is longing to be able to move forward, who wants closure and doesn't want things to be wishy-washy. And then with your person's higher self coming through as Justice, it's almost as if they are saying, that's fair, I don't blame you, and there's no hard feelings. This almost gives me the feeling of, like, between your two souls, I don't think that there is bad blood or hard feelings. Just naturally, the way souls are, I think there's a lot more love there and a lot more compassion and understanding. But it looks like there's this dynamic going on in the 3D, and your higher self is saying, like, look, this is not good for me. This is not good for my human, so to speak. This is not good for my human self. And your person's higher self is saying, like, I completely understand that. I understand that my human self is not in the place to treat you in the way that you deserve, to show up the way you hoped they would. Like, I totally understand if you want to move on, if you want to, cut these cords, if you want to distance yourself. I won't have any resentment or any hard feelings for that. Like, all I have is love for you. And so this makes me wonder if, your souls plan to come into each other's lives and then things just didn't shape up. Or maybe you just met by chance and things didn't work out. I'm not sure, but it really looks like your soul's being very, like, forthcoming and straightforward, like, to them and also to you in the 3D. Like, this, I don't feel good. Like, this connection is not making me happy. At least the reality of what it is in the 3D right now is not making me happy, and I want to move on. Even Scorpio, this is related to the Death card. This is related to releases and endings, and it's like your person's higher self, although they may be sad about that, they completely understand, because where they're at in the 3D, it looks like your person is going through a lot with this Page of Cups in reverse. They could be dealing with childhood wounds right now. They maybe had manipulative people in their life, like manipulative parents or ex-partners that they've really been hurt by. And it's not, like, it's coming through strongly that this is not for a lack of caring about you or for a lack of wanting to be with you. It's just that they've realized they have a lot that is unhealed and they have a lot to think about. And I think maybe there was a time where this person appeared really enthusiastic about being with you. Like, maybe they were showing you a lot of affection or talking to you very frequently, and they're having to dial it back. It's like they're feeling they were too naive or they were too optimistic. They jumped into things before realizing that they didn't have the necessary tools at their disposal, or the necessary, it's weird, like a necessary equipment or resources to be in a stable connection. They kind of maybe recklessly jumped into things, and now they're realizing, oh shit, I have a lot of unhealed wounds. Like, I gotta figure my stuff out. I gotta get my stuff together. And while they're in this reflective energy, like looking at these two fish, this could be indicating we're going in circles. So things are not really moving forward in this connection. This could be indicating that there's like, it looks like they're chasing each other, right? So there could be like a runner and chaser dynamic in this connection. Like, I feel like this person cares more for you than they let on, and what is unfolding right now hurts them more than they let on. And I think it also hurts you more than you let on to them. You know, the lion is a prideful animal, and so there may be pride between the two of you when it comes to like admitting how much you care, admitting how much you're affected by each other, or admitting how much you miss each other, and things of that nature. On your end, I feel like you've been really trying to heal from this situation, but with the Six of Swords in reverse, you know, it says slow healing, bad to worse, instability. It may be like as much as you try to move on, you can't. Like, it's very difficult. I do want to point out though that this Scorpion is facing away from the connection. It does seem like you on your end want closure, whereas this person is like fish swimming in circles. One's going this way, one's going that way. So you could be getting confusing messages from this person, like confusing signals from this person. And it's almost like, yeah, like with this blunt higher self, I feel like this is your higher self and spiritual team saying to your person, like, look, group number 3 is trying to heal and move on, and you keep confusing them. I just saw 1313, which is the number of death. I feel like this person's energy keeps confusing you because they're not committing to one way or another, and like that's not fair to you. I feel like they keep pulling on your energy, and if you're seeing signs of them or dreaming about them or whatever it might be, that's why. It's like they keep pulling on you. This person, they're being wishy-washy about their decision. They're like, oh, I've got a lot to heal, so I can't be in a relationship. And it's like, okay, then commit to that. Commit to your healing. But I still want to pop in every now and then, or, you know, I still want to have a physical relationship with you, or I still want to message you, or whatever it is. And I feel like it's like maybe they're trying to do both, and it's confusing you. Because you're like, I'm here trying to get over you. I'm here trying to get closure. But if you keep popping up, or if your energy keeps popping up, it's very confusing for me. Whereas in the 5D, I think your higher self and spiritual team are being very straightforward about, like, this ending needs to happen. Whether it's temporary or permanent, I don't know, but like this separation needs to happen. Like, we need our space to heal right now. And they're kind of bluntly saying, like, if you're gonna be wishy-washy like this, we can't do this. And I think their higher self understands. So let's take a look at, oh, that's not the right deck, but I guess we could. We could use this deck in your YouTube reading and use the other one in your extended. We are gonna see what is next. What is in the near future of this connection? What is in the near future in the connection between group number 3 and their person? What is next? The next changes, the next developments. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Fool. We have the Moon. And oh my gosh, and we have the Sun. Wow. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck, this is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, wow. I feel like there's kind of a double meaning. Like there's 2 parallel meanings to these cards that have appeared. So I will go through both of them. Because we're starting off with the Ace of Cups, I do feel like a lot of you have been in a relationship with this person. Maybe this is someone you dated or you had a very close friendship with, or it's indicating there was a period where things did feel happy between the two of you and you really were pouring yourself and pouring your love into this connection. With the Fool next to this, I do see this as someone who was being careless or even foolish, quite literally, and was failing to see the value of this connection. You know, dogs represent a loyal companion, so this person maybe took your loyalty for granted, or like with all of these eyes on the Fool, it's like maybe they were looking everywhere except for at you or except for at the connection. They couldn't see the value of it. And now that there's a separation happening, it's like they're finally seeing what they've lost, or they've finally seen how they were wrong. You know, this is about being in your head, being also, I think deluded is the word. I think in this situation, you could be feeling delusional because you're like, maybe you're feeling foolish that you got your hopes up so much. And maybe they're feeling delusional or foolish that they took this situation for granted. With the Sun, I do think this is indicating that things will get better for you, especially coming right after the Moon. Like after the night, there will be the sunrise. And the Moon is holding the Sun. It's like they're wishing and dreaming for the sun to rise, and it finally will. So I think that both of you will get over the sadness that is here, and you will move on to brighter days. That is coming through clear as day. Excuse me for the pun. But there is another meaning to, oh my gosh, and I just looked up and it was 1919 on the camera, which is the number of the Sun. So you really, really need to know that brighter days are ahead for you. Now, my group number 3s, there is another meaning to this whole journey. With the Ace of Cups coming out as your nearest future, I actually think that many of you will be experiencing a new love with a new person. There's a new love interest coming in, or a new friendship coming in, a new partnership. Whatever the nature of this connection is, there is a new interest appearing in your life. The Fool is the number 0. So this does give the feeling of a completely clean slate. For a lot of you, this might be someone you haven't met yet, or someone who's very, very newly in your life. And the Fool also has a feeling of taking a leap of faith. The Moon represents being in your head, being worried. What I feel like this is indicating is you know, having this new interest in your life, this new love in your life, it's exciting. And it feels very good to be embracing these positive feelings again, to let your heart light up again, to let your hopes go up again. But I feel like you'll be in your head for a couple of reasons. For one, you might be thinking, is it foolish to jump into love again when I just got hurt? Or is it foolish to trust someone new when I've just been disappointed or when I've just been betrayed, whatever it might be? Am I foolish to be hopeful after what happened? Or am I safe? You know, the fool, we often see him about to jump or fall off a cliff. So you might be thinking, is it safe? Is it safe for me to take this jump, or am I going to get hurt again? And then there's also this fear that, and I think, actually, I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I think it may especially be the case if you have felt like this is my soulmate, this is my twin flame. If you've kind of felt that strong spiritual connection or felt really like compelled that this is the person I'm supposed to be with, sometimes when you move on to a new love, it can really mess with your head because you're like, am I stepping away from my destiny? Am I abandoning my divine counterpart? It's almost like you want to keep a little door open for that person, or you feel weird like stepping away from them and into a new love. You feel like it's not right. You can even deal with feelings of guilt sometimes, which is quite weird, because it's like, of course, this new person makes you happy and you deserve to be happy in this lifetime. And like the old person, like soulmate or not, twin flame or not, if it's not working, it's not working. And it's not your job to fix things. It's your job to take care of yourself and to fill your own cup and to welcome new experiences that could enrich your life and that could make you happy. But I feel like there's a little inner battle when it comes to taking the leap to a completely new person. And you might kind of have those worries for a while, and then of course the sun represents the resolution of that, because when you allow yourself to feel that happiness, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's like, I can't believe I almost robbed myself of this. When you realize how good it feels to accept love from good people, from someone who is kind towards you and trustworthy and affectionate and loyal and responsible, like you realize with how good it feels, you realize this is what you deserved all along. And so yeah, there's a bit of apprehension because like we don't want to get hurt again, and some of you guys might be reluctant to really like let go of the person you were originally asking about. But if you go forward with it, I think you will be very happy. And with all of these major arcana, I really do think this new person is someone who is destined to come into your life. This is the Page of Pentacles that we have at the bottom here. So this can represent that the person coming through again is a completely new person, because pages do represent a new beginning. It could be indicating that this person is an earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It could also be that this is someone that you meet through like work or through school or through like learning one of your skills or pursuing one of your hobbies, anything that you're doing to learn, to better yourself, to reach a goal, or to make money. That could be how this person comes through. And also, pages come in with an offer of like a tangible offer. I was speaking about this in another group, because pentacles represent things that you can touch, that are right in front of you, things that you can rely on. So whatever offers this person brings you, it's backed by actions. Whereas like this first person, cups is just feelings. And at the end of the day, we can't take feelings to the bank. it's kind of a weird expression, but you know, like you can serenade me all you want, you can tell me your feelings and intentions all you want, but I can't live on that forever. Like, I need commitment, I need action, I need you to show me with your actions that you're serious. And so, you know, with this person coming through as the Pentacles, I think it's really showing that, like, they're serious about showing you in a concrete way that they want to make things work with you. We also have Aquarius energy here, and like with Sun and Moon, I'm wondering if they could have, like, they could be Aquarius with an Earth Moon, or like an Earth Sun with an Aquarius Moon. There could also be, like, their sun sign could be your moon sign, or your sun sign could be their moon sign, or something like that. But yes, I think for a lot of you there is a new love that is entering your life. As for the original person that you asked about, I do feel like they're going to realize that they kind of dropped the ball, or that they missed something really special, but they will get over it. With the Sun here, they will get over it. Both of you will be able to move on and be happy. So with that, we are going to go into the extended reading, because we kind of have two connections appearing here. I think what we will do is look at the long-term future for the person that you originally asked about, and we'll also look at the potential future with this new person. Like, we'll pull cards for both. And wow, for the rest of the reading, I guess we'll get messages from both of them as well. Yeah, we'll just have to do double the reading, because there's two people coming through. So we'll get messages from both your original person and messages from the new person, and then we will get some timing predictions for you. It's up to you what the timing predictions are for, but one of them will be in the short-term future. So you will think of something you want to happen in the short-term future, and one of them will be longer term. So you will think of something that you want to happen in the longer-term future. So that's how the extended reading is going to go. If you would like to join me there, it's going to be linked down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive, timeless pick-a-card readings just like this one, as well as choose the topics for future videos. And I'll link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm sending lots of love to you, to the original person you asked about, to the new person who's coming through, and anyone else who may be involved in this situation. Sending love to your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the pink calcite, this is going to be a reading all about the connection between you and the person on your mind. So I'm going to show you guys the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we're going to start by looking at the current energies of you, your person, and the energies between the two of you. And like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to look at this from a 3D perspective. So what's going on between your human selves, and a 5D perspective, what's going on between your souls. And once we get a feel for the current energies, we're going to move into the future. and see what is next for this connection. We'll take a look at any changes or developments that are happening in the near future and any actions that may be taken, who is going to be taking the actions and what those actions are. And then in the extended reading, we're going to look at the long-term outcome of this connection. So will things stay the same as what we saw here on YouTube, or will the situation be changing? And then we will get messages from your person's 3D self as well as their higher self. And then finally, we will finish off with timing predictions. So we're going to look at relevant time frames for this connection in both the short-term future and the long-term future. So it will be quite detailed today. Let's get into it. We are going to start by looking at the current energies of your connection. So this pile is going to represent your 5D connection, and this pile is going to represent your 3D connection. I'm going to put your cards here and their cards here, and then the energy between the two of you will be in the middle. But if it feels like the energies are flipped, like if this sounds more like your person and that sounds more like you, you can definitely switch the energies around. You might even find that you resonate with both sides. But if you don't really see yourself on either side, then this might not be your group, and you may want to try choosing a different reading. So let's start with your cards for the 5D connection. We have the Four of Swords, relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. On your person's side, we have the Lovers. And we have perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And then for the card representing the energy between the two of you, we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, now for the 3D energy. So on your side, we have strength in the upright, invisible force, gentle persuasion, compassion, confidence, courage, self-belief, infinite potential, personal power, influential, and wisdom. We have emotions are running high with the supermoon. On your person's side, we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and it says reckless, show-off, daredevil, volatile, arrogant, hasty, holding a grudge, hyper, unpredictable, and jealous. We also have it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. And then for the card representing the energy between the two of you in the 3D, interesting, we have the Knight of Wands in the upright. So there's a repeating card, but in different orientations. Let's start up here with the 5D energy. We have the Nine of Cups in the middle, which is a beautiful energy. This definitely shows me that your souls have taken a liking to each other and that they're very happy to have met in this lifetime. I also think that the energy of your person's soul, they possess a lot of qualities that you desire to, that you desire to develop, that you desire to adopt, and vice versa. So I think that your souls admire and look up to each other and believe that you could learn a lot from each other. The number 9, it makes me think of balance, of growth, of also spiritual advancement. So I do think that's a big reason that your souls have come together. They have traits that you admire, you have traits that they admire, and you want to learn from each other and grow and become better versions of yourselves. The Nine of Cups shows me that there are very sweet and positive and also affectionate feelings between your two souls. Like, you really seem to care about each other a lot and desire to be in each other's lives. I don't know if this is your first incarnation together or not, but I don't think it will be your last one. I think your souls have really taken a liking to each other and would like to continue being in each other's lives. Like, quite simply, I can just say spiritually, it looks like your higher selves really like each other and enjoy each other's company and want to be around and want to keep working together. You make each other happy. Like, it's just a positive connection. Now, what is interesting is the difference between these two energies on either side of you. I feel like your person's higher self is coming on very strongly, whereas your higher self is more chill. So this person, their higher self, is very attracted to you. And I think your person in the 3D feels a strong pull towards you and feels an inexplicable connection to you. Like that their logical mind cannot really explain. They maybe have been having strange experiences when it comes to you, like having strange dreams or seeing strange coincidences. Maybe I'm using the word strange a lot because they find it strange. As a spiritual person, maybe not so much. We recognize it as synchronicities. We recognize it as a message from our higher self. We recognize that, okay, there's like a connection that my soul is trying to tell me about. They might not really see it that way, so it's like, that's weird. Why did I have the same dream 3 times? Or why do I keep seeing this sign? And it's kind of like a foreign experience to them. I think that their higher self, because the Lovers is Gemini energy, this is communication. So I think that their higher self is trying to communicate a lot to them. Like, hey, we like this person. We like group number 4. We want to be in this connection with them. We want to do life with them. That's what their higher self is saying to them. And so it might be your person's first experience, like having their higher self talk to them in such a straightforward way, or to see the same repeating signs over and over again. So it's kind of like interesting and weird to them is how it is coming through. But it looks like their higher self really has their sights set on you. Now I'm thinking of that Miley Cyrus song, I got my sights set on you and I'm ready to aim. It's called See You Again, I think. Yeah. Anyway. What was I saying? They have their sights set on you. It feels like their higher self is really determined to be in a connection with you. I don't think it was necessarily planned like this, like you're destined to come together. It just seems like they really took a liking to you and they want to be in your life and they want to connect with you. On your end, at least from your higher self's perspective, your higher self seems detached, and I want to say unbothered, because it looks like your higher self is not really looking for anyone specific, you know, like I must be in a connection with Fred, I must be in a connection with Stacy. They're just like, I want to attract people who will enrich my life, who will help me learn, who will help me become a better version of myself. Like, I would just want to be in a mutually beneficial partnership. Whoever that is, like, Spirit, please show me those who will be a good match for me. Like, your higher self is not really attached to a specific person, whereas I feel like their higher self is specifically attached to you. Like, they really want you. They really want to be around your energy. Even with the 4 of Swords here, this is like chill, relaxing. This is stillness. This is inaction. This is peace. Like, your higher self is really not in a chasing energy. Like, they're just sitting back and relaxing and knowing that whoever is a good match for them will find them. Like, they're not pressed. That's the feeling. Now, in the 3D, it kind of looks like an inverse thing is going on, which is interesting, because in the 3D, you seem to be the one who's having like the really, really strong feelings for this person, and maybe with the Strength card feeling like you have to kind of rein it in, I think is the expression. Like, you kind of have to pull it in. Whereas I feel like they're the ones who are holding back more in the 3D. So it's interesting. If you look at it from a 3D perspective, you might say like, oh, group number 4 is like super into them and really, really pulling at their energy, but their person is unbothered. Whereas from a higher self perspective, your person is really, really pulling at your energy. And your higher self is like, we'll see. We'll see if we're a good match. It's interesting. So they're probably pulling on your energy a lot and maybe amplifying thoughts and feelings that you have. Like I said, I definitely think you both feel positively about each other. Now let's talk about this double Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands represents your person. Reckless show-off is definitely an interesting way to interpret the Knight of Wands in reverse. I definitely see how it could mean that. I normally would interpret it as like someone who's lacking confidence. Their lack of confidence is stopping them from coming forward and going after what they really want. I suppose, however, you could adopt some of these traits to overcompensate for a lack of confidence. Like someone might act super, full of themselves, and I want to say the word like macho. They might act like that because deep down they're insecure. And so they're putting on this armor so that people can't tell they're insecure. I have a feeling with this Knight of Wands in reverse that your person is more shy than they let on, or is more insecure than they let on. They might have hidden insecurities. I also have a feeling that your person really cares what you think about them. They really value your opinion, which is a beautiful thing, but because of a bit of insecurity, they might really, really care what you think or be worried about embarrassing themselves in front of you. I just feel like they're holding back a little bit. They're either holding back because of a lack of confidence or they're overcompensating because of a lack of confidence. But it's interesting that we have the Knight of Wands in the middle to represent the energy between the two of you. It's kind of giving me the feeling that at this point in your connection, the ball is in your person's court. Like it's on them to make a move. I feel like at this point you have made your interest in them very clear. Like look at how big this moon is blown up. You could not miss this moon. Like if you look in the sky, it's going to be staring you right in the face. I think you have really made your interest clear. And yeah, and that's probably why your higher self is like, okay, like we've done what we're supposed to do. I've indicated my interest. You've indicated your interest. I'm educated in sex. Yes, that's Love Game by Lady Gaga, which is a very good song. I keep breaking into song and then forgetting what I was gonna say. Yes. And now it's really in their court. And I feel like this is your confirmation that, like, if you felt like, but do they know how I feel about them? Like, should I make another move towards them? No. I feel like they're aware that there's something here. Their higher self is communicating it to them. Surely they know deep down, but they're holding back with this Knight of Wands in reverse. And I feel like now you might be holding back as well, but not from a place of lacking confidence, I don't think. It's more like, I've done what I can do. Like I'm not going to go around chasing you. I'm not going to like beg you to respond or beg you to be with me. Like you know how I feel and I'm right here. And if we're a good match for each other, I trust that Spirit's gonna do their thing, but I'm not gonna stress out about you. This is basically how I'm seeing it. I feel like you really are. It's not that you don't have feelings for them. It's just that you're detached from the outcome. In fact, I think you have very, very strong feelings for them, but you have pride in a good way. You have pride and dignity, and you're not about to start, begging this person or chasing them around. So yeah, it's really in their court. And with volatile, this could be indicating, sometimes it seems like they're really into you and then other times not so much. Like, there's ups and downs like that. They could be holding on to past wounds with this, like holding a grudge. There could be some insecurities that they have. And we do have this full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. And this is standing in the way, because if this is them who's trying to make their way to you, this negativity is getting in their way of like coming forward and letting you know how they truly feel. Or I should say confirming confirming to you how they truly feel, because I'm sure you can feel their energetic pull on you. Yeah. So their higher self is determined, obviously, with perseverance. They're being communicative, probably to you. They're being very communicative, and to your person's 3D self. They're being very communicative, like, this connection is really special. What are you doing? Like, let's get a move on, because group 4 is not going to wait forever. Yeah. So will they get over this negativity? Will they get over these insecurities? That is what we want to find out. So we're going to get into the tarot now, the White Sage Tarot, and we're going to see the near future of this connection and see what the next developments are. We do have, there's quite a bit of fire energy down here. Like there's Leo here. This has a Sagittarius symbol, but this can be like all fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then up here is air: Gemini, Libra, oh, and Pisces too. Just in case that is relevant for you guys. Okay. Yeah, it seems like you've worked hard to initiate. This person would have to be really, really clueless if they didn't know you were interested in them. And you've done, yeah, I mean, I'm hearing it like you've done a really good effort of putting yourself out there and of being assertive. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I'm just gonna give her one more shuffle. What is next in group number 4's connection with their person? What will be unfolding in their near future? Okay, we are starting with the Queen of Wands. Again, more fire. Two of Wands, more fire. So this is Aries energy. Now we have all the fire signs appearing: Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. We have the 5 of Cups. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. So this is a pretty clear message. And also now we have Cancer energy present here. I know I've named a lot of signs, but fire is like the strongest that is coming through for sure. Right away, I feel that this Queen of Wands is you, group number 4s. You are very attractive. You are very attractive from the inside out. And you are definitely attracting people who serve your higher good. I think overall, this next chapter of your life, you are really blossoming. You're really coming into yourself, embracing your natural beauty, and feeling very confident in who you are and very comfortable in your skin. And you've put a lot of effort into this, whether that's healing wounds or positive affirmations or making sure that you're in the right environment to really thrive. You have done an excellent job of taking care of yourself. That's coming through first and foremost and very strongly. And so I'm very proud of you for that, and you should be proud of yourself too. You are going to be, well, you already are, attractive to many people, and you will have a lot of positive suitors coming your way. There's going to be, in the next chapter of your life, a lot of people approaching you, wanting to date you, wanting to be your friend, wanting to collaborate with you. I think that you'll be getting a lot of invitations to go to events, to network, to partner with people on projects. You will definitely have options. Your energy is so attractive right now, and you're going to be very popular. You're going to be in high demand and really feeling yourself during this time. And Two of Wands as well. This is doors opening for you, new opportunities. This is you having options. This is also freedom and independence. So what I could see happening in your near future, because you've kind of stepped into this energy of detachment and like, I trust that Spirit's going to bring me the right people, I feel like you're going to feel open to explore these options. You know, like, okay, if this person isn't coming forward, I got a few people in my DMs, I've got a few people asking me out, so like, why not? And it really can be from, not necessarily casual, and unless you're into casual stuff, could definitely be, but I think it's just more like, I'm open to whatever this connection has to show me. I'm not going to put pressure on these offers that are coming my way. I'm just going to go with the flow and see what feels good. I want to show the universe that I'm open to the beautiful opportunities that it's presenting me. So, you know, whatever the nature of this connection is, I think this is just you really embracing the new attention that you're receiving, saying yes to invitations, collaborating with other people, and enjoying meeting new people, making new connections, and learning more about yourself in the process. There's also a lot of talent in these cards. Group number 4, you are freaking talented. And these new connections coming into your life, these new opportunities coming your way, are going to allow you to see your own hidden talents, like introduce you to new talents that you possess, and help you to further develop your existing talents. This is going to be a very fulfilling time for you. You may be working on a creative project that is like really exciting to you, and that allows you to network and just expand your circles. And I do see you in quite a social and outgoing energy, and just really enthusiastic about life. Like, I'm getting excited sitting in your energy because it's just so, like, you have a love for life. Your energy is so vibrant. It's infectious. And so, this Knight of Wands in reverse, we have the 5 of Cups. This, to me, like, this is loss, sadness, disappointment. This could be for both of you, actually. My first initial reaction when I saw this 5 of Cups was that your person may get jealous at this. And by the way, that is not your fault if they get jealous. That's not on you, because you've made your interest very clear and you can't wait around forever, so you're living your life. Plain and simple. I don't see you deliberately doing things to make this person jealous. So anyway, I think that that's one thing that this 5 of Cups is representing, especially because we have literally the word jealous on this card. It's like, it could be because of the attention that you're receiving, it could also be because of the opportunities you're receiving. Like they may not necessarily be jealous of you in like a romantic or emotional sense. Maybe they're jealous like in a professional sense. Or maybe they're kicking themselves for not coming forward. But I also think for some of you, you know, take this if it resonates, of course, but this Five of Cups could represent you. Like, because humans are very capable of holding conflicting emotions. So on one hand, you could be really excited for life. You could be really happy at all these opportunities that are coming your way and really loving these new connections. And deep down, there could still be like a little bit of disappointment for this person's, you know, this person's lack of action. But our final card is the Wheel of Fortune, which it kind of indicates the tables are turning. The Wheel of Fortune means the tables are turning, the situation is changing. Like, think of literally the wheel doing a 180. And then we have the Chariot, which is movement. So this to me is indicating what was once a stagnation, what was once a lack of action. Now the wheels are turning and things are getting set into motion. It kind of looks like whatever negative emotions this person was going through will be a catalyst for them to finally make a move towards you. It kind of takes them feeling this way. It's like the classic, you don't know what you have till it's gone, or yeah, and it's interesting too, like, you know, Scorpio is about diving deep. So I don't think they're doing this without reflection. It doesn't seem like an impulsive reaction. And what I mean by that is, it's not just like they see you getting offers from other people and there's this like primal jealous urge within them, so they come towards you. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more self-aware. It feels more like them saying, oh wow, I'm feeling really jealous right now. Like, what's up with that? And really going deep. That's what Scorpio does. Scorpio goes really deep and gets to the root of the insecurity. Like, why am I feeling these negative emotions? Why am I feeling so uncomfortable right now? And reflecting on the way that they've been behaving or not behaving up until now in the connection with you. And I also really feel with this Wheel of Fortune, there is some kind of, like, I want to say prayer or something that is going on their end where, like, whether this is a spiritual person or not, it's like they're praying for the situation to get better. They're swallowing their pride and asking their spiritual team for help, or asking a higher power for help. Like, help me change this situation. Help me release this negativity so that I can move forward. You know, this is two horses moving together. So I feel like this is them not realizing that they want to move forward with you, because I feel like they've always known that, but realizing that they got to make it happen. They got to get a move on. They've got to take action on it. Yeah, so in your near future, we see you really, really blossoming and stepping into your power. Amazing offers and opportunities coming your way because of that. Your person feeling some kind of way about it and being like, wait, why do I feel negatively about group number 4 thriving? Like, what's up with that? Diving deeper and realizing that what they really want is just to be a part of it. Because that's what your higher selves want. Like, you want to be involved in each other's lives. You want to grow together. So I think they just need to look deep and realize, like, they want to be a part of this, and their lack of confidence has been holding them back from that. And so they're simultaneously doing this reflection, but also praying to whoever's out there, praying to the higher power that the situation can turn around and that you can move forward together. Wow. So we are ending with your person's breakthrough, with their desire to come forward. I feel like the Chariot is indicative of them coming forward to you. So that's the near future of this connection. In the extended reading, we are going to see the long-term outcome. What will happen from here? Are things going to keep moving in this direction? Are things going to progress between the two of you? Is there going to be another change? Another curveball? That remains to be seen. We're also going to get a message from your person's 3D self and a message from their higher self. And then we will get you 2 timing predictions, one for the short-term future and one for the long-term future. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended reading, it's going to be linked in the description and in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch a ton of exclusive, timeless pick-a-card readings just like this one, and also choose the topics for future videos. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll have my latest release linked down below as well. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I really appreciate having you here. Group number 4, I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to anyone who is involved in this situation, and I'm sending love to your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!